Well, the three-game losing streak is no more. The Toronto Raptors, behind a huge night from Pascal Siakam, take down the Orlando Magic. No OG, no Norm, no problem. 115-102 is your final. The Raptors record now 8-12 on the season. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Raptors Night Cap. Randy Urban alongside Sherman Hamilton, Paul Jones, and Leo Rautins. Not my father. I will not say that this time. How you guys doing?
You couldn't help yourself.
Buddy. All good. All good.
Hey, it's good to get back on track, fellas? Let's first talk about the job they did defensively on Vucevic. Obviously, the talk coming in, Leo, was how well Ibaka did against him, how well Gasol did against him. Well, how'd they stop him tonight?
Basically the same way. I mean, honestly, I'm in shock. I kept thinking that, okay, Vucevic is right now looking at the Toronto Raptors with a big smile on his face going, no Gasol, no Ibaka. And think about it, this guy was an all-star. And first of all, I'm shocked that he played the way he did against the Raptors with those guys being an all-star. Yeah, you can have a rough night, but you just don't basically, give up. That's the kind of the way it looked. So I thought he was going to come out and just have a monster game for the Magic, and they need him to play that way. And it looked like the same old Vucevic. I mean, he's really struggled. And what did Baynes do? He played position. That's what Gasol did a great job of. Stayed in front of him, didn't let him drive, let him meet him with his body. Raptors did a great job of not allowing him to turn and go where he wants to go. And I think the other important thing is, and Nick Nurse talked about this, you got to put pressure on everybody else. Don't allow passes to go where they want to go. Don't allow screens to be set the way they want to set to get Vucevic the ball where he wants. And I think overall the Raptors did a great job. And once again, he was under control.
Jonesy, when things got a little dicey there in that third or fourth quarter, Magic cut it to 8. They brought Baynes back in, and he sort of just settled things down for them again and helped the Raptors push that lead. These are the kind of games that you think you're going to get from him night in and night out, and we should expect that going forward, shouldn't we?
Well, look, he looks like he's adjusting to things. More comfortable in the role. Tonight, he knew the big assignment was looking after Vucevic and making sure that he didn't get loose. And, to Leo's point, I thought they rendered him ineffective, and there wasn't an aggressiveness there on Vucevic's part. Now, the other part of that, too, is, there's an old adage in the NBA. Conventional wisdom says, we know that guy's their best player. He can beat us. Let the other guys beat us. Well, the Raptors changed that phrase, saying, no, we're going to make the other guys beat us. We're still going to play them. The job isn't done once you get it out of the main man's hands. We're going to play the other people. And when you look at it, before he got hurt, Aaron Gordon was the leading scorer, but he wasn't making a lot of noise. Terrence Ross was ineffective tonight, 1 of 5 in 28 minutes. There were just so many other parts.
Fournier.
Fournier.
Fred VanVleet on Fournier.
2 of 12. So, Randy, they always say, well, we'll let the other guys beat us. The Raptors say, no. We're going to make you beat us. We're going to treat you with respect, and you're going to have to make plays to beat us. And I thought their defense was, starting with the head of the snake with Vucevic, was terrific all night.
And Sherman offensively, right? This is a vintage Pascal Siakam game. You can't get much more than this from him.
Well, this is the second game that we've seen him with this determined mindset of attacking the paint. I mean, he's looking at 46 points in the paint in the last 2 games. That's an aggressive style of basketball, and that's what you want to see from him. Also, in the last 2 games, he's combined for 20 free throw attempts. Tonight, much better, making 6 of 6. So we're just seeing Pascal, and we've all talked about this, get back to who he was. The guy that got him to this point, that aggressive, downhill, run the floor, play with energy, play with speed, and make the defense have to react to him. In 2 games now, Pascal has taken 3 3-point shots, and his numbers are phenomenal. So he's getting back to his roots, and to me, that's a really, really good thing to see. And we can talk about the quality of the competition, Sacramento being one of the worst defensive teams, Orlando being another one of the worst defensive teams. The reality is Pascal has to get back to who he is, regardless of who's in front of him. And it was good to see that. Wanted to touch on the Vucevic situation for a second, if you guys allow me. Good players, they want space to operate. Great players take space. Offensive players, they take their space. Vucevic is a guy who plays in space. And the Raptors saw what Marc Gasol and Serge did by taking his space away, making him have to play physically and have to really grind to get his shots off. They just did that tonight. They made sure he never got comfortable, never had space to really flow into an offensive situation, and they made it difficult once he got into the paint. And he's not necessarily the guy who's going to fight and claw to get what he wants. He's a guy who's probably going to get knocked back and stay back when there's an opponent that's very physical with him.
Great points, guys. Leo, going back to Pascal, you praised him, and rightly so, all game, just with his determination, his effort, his aggression, going to the rim. Is it simply that he's just better when he doesn't take as many threes?
Yeah. I mean, hey, Pascal didn't make a name for himself and didn't establish himself with the Raptors by being a three-point shooter. I mean, that's just not who he is. I mean, hey, if he knocks down a three every once in a while, that's great, right? People, appreciate that. It's something you continually to work on. But think of some games during the season, 3, 3, 3, 3, and you miss. Your defense is getting killed because of those misses. Your confidence is getting killed because of those misses, and you're just not playing any type of game that's recognizable. Now we're seeing the same guy that, for the last few years going, yeah, this is the guy, man. He's running, he's attacking, he's having fun. How many times you see him yelling and screaming and enjoying himself out there? Because this is who he is, and I hope this continues. I mean, Sherman mentioned, 46 points in the paint last 2 games. Averaging 30 last couple of games. You play that way and getting to the free throw line, things are going to change for the Raptors. And, we talked about this before too. Aron Baynes is going to look better and play better with Pascal playing like this way. OG is going to get more of those open threes when he comes back. Norm's going to have more opportunities to drive. Everything's going to be better if Pascal continues to play this way.
Jonesy, what do you think of that body check Aaron Gordon tried to lay on Kyle Lowry?
I thought it was a flagrant 2. There are some key words when you look at what's going on in the NBA. I think Utah's hard foul against Sacramento on Friday night, they went and reviewed it. To me, that was a basketball play. He was going for the ball and making sure that the guy didn't get a shot. And the key words in a flagrant 1, the contact is unnecessary. And in flagrant 2, it's unnecessary and excessive. I thought what Aaron Gordon did was unnecessary, and stepping forward was excessive. And I thought, to me, it was clearly a flagrant 2. Now, I'm not out there, and I know that on the broadcast, I mean, I was on the radio side, but looking at the broadcast, I know you guys had Sherman, Leo, they had a look at what precipitated the event with Kyle turning and getting Aaron Gordon on the knee. Some people would say that was dirty. I would say you can interpret it the way you want, but Kyle Lowry is one of the best rebounding little men in the game. And how do you do that? By being in position. He turned, he boxed out. I think, when he gets down that low, he's hitting the guy on the knee. I mean, you can interpret it any way you want.
Jonesy, 6'9" versus 6 foot. You got to have a differential.
Well, to me, if you want to give Lowry a foul for that or give him a technical after the fact, tomorrow we find out he gets fined, surely Aaron Gordon, to me, that play was excessive. That's just the way I looked at it. And there's some history there going back to the bubble and all of that as well. But I thought the play by Gordon was excessive.
Sure, you can touch on that too, but also just, I feel like Lowry kind of found himself again. He missed those couple games. I just felt like he was way more active. He had the 15 assists, really set the tone for the Raptors. I know he didn't shoot the ball great, but, he still played a Lowry-type game.
Well, he did, and he and Fred kind of said they've got to be better. And when your leaders say that, your leaders just can't say it and then not show up the next game and fulfill those words. And I thought both he and Fred did that. Fred, as Leo and Jonesy mentioned, did a great job, making it hard for Fournier. And I thought Kyle, without looking to score necessarily, did a great job of just setting the table for everybody and making the game flow with his assist totals. So, yeah, I think they had to answer the call. And as far as that situation with Aaron Gordon, listen, one of the worst times to hit a player is when they're not looking, when they're just running down the floor and their motion is a normal gait and you hit them without them knowing that. All kinds of stuff can happen in terms of their body movement, how they land. Even the neck and shoulder areas can be jolted. So it was a dangerous hit. And I guarantee you, if Kyle had went down and had some kind of injury from that hit, Aaron Gordon would have been tossed out of that game. So it's just one of those things where it's a flagrant 2 in my books. It was called a flagrant 1, and it just makes it murky the next time someone hits somebody like that. And if they get hurt in a way that's significant, how do you just jump and make it a flagrant 2, right? Because it can't be dependent on whether the player gets hurt or not.
Well, a lot of times, and we know that, Randy, a lot of times we look at referees calling reactions as opposed to what really happened. And if, as Sherm said, if Kyle goes down in a heap and stays down for a bit, maybe it's a different call.
Leo, you want to touch on that, or do you want to just talk about
I agree with what everybody said. Man, that was, to my mind, was a flagrant 2. It was planned. He was waiting for Kyle to come down. Kyle wasn't looking at him, and he popped him. And like I said, as Sherm said, that could have been a serious injury. And I guarantee if Kyle Lowry stayed down, rolled around for another minute or 2, it would have been a flagrant 2.
Jonesy, how do they maintain this defensive effort? You know, they only gave up 15 points in the first quarter. It was kind of a continuation of the fourth quarter of Sacramento, but you got to keep this going now. You got to start piling up some wins here. Under 40 seconds to go in the show.
Look, I'll let the other guys have a kick at this too. I just think you do it from the jump. You come out and you play hard from the jump. That's what they did. They established stuff, and that sets the tone for the entire game.
Sherm, real quick.
Yeah, you've got to do it, especially from the defensive end. They created a lot of offense from their defense, but that's got to be the end of the floor that they established against an angry Orlando Magic team from this game.
Yeah, just don't let the opponent get going. Don't give them anything easy to help them, and the Raptors didn't in this game.
Well, I'm going to let you guys get going. I appreciate you doing this. Leo, thank you for being nice to me today.
Flagrant 2 for you,
All right, time to say goodbye to the crew. Next up for the Raptors, Tuesday night against the same Orlando Magic, 7 p.m. tip. See you then.
Thanks for watching. You can click to watch our last episode or to subscribe to the Toronto Raptors YouTube channel so you don't miss an episode.